everyone, welcome back to ESA Summer Online. We are raising money for the Alzheimer Fund still. If you would like to donate, make sure to check out the links down below. You can find them to donate there. Also, big thanks to Kaspersky, Twitch, and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. Without them, this event would not be possible. And let me give it up now for D-Limes. He's gonna be running Metal Gear Solid. Good luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is D-Limes13, and this is Metal Gear Solid. I'm going to be running the All Bosses category on the console version of the game. And since there's a waiting period kind of at the start of the game, we're just going to jump right in. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, buddy.
Thank you very much. So, like I said, we're playing on All Bosses console. We're going to be playing on easy difficulties, so that basically means we have to defeat all the bosses and their life bars entirely. We can't do any major skips. We can't skip any of the bosses. We have to do this somewhat legitimately. So, the first section here of the game is just the docks. We're just waiting for an elevator to come down, basically. So we're just going to take out these two guards, get them out of the way. That way we don't have to fuss with them.
What was that noise?
Yeah, so for Metal Gear Solid, we have two categories, essentially. We don't have a glitchless category. Metal Gear Solid 1 is pretty broken. All Bosses is the closest thing we have to glitchless. So there's only two minor skips that we're going to do to get past some areas, but Limes will only do one of them, which saves about a minute. Aside from that, we're going to be doing the game pretty much as intended. And hi, I'm Apache Smash. I'm going to be commentating, and also Joe's here.
Yep, that's me.
So Joseph.
And I almost like to add, just like as you said, as intended, that he's like clipping on top of the pipe.
It's kind of risky that you would do that because you can actually end up on the out of bounds of the level, and then you can't actually get back into the level. Recently we had some races in this game, and Plywood did that at the start, ended up out of bounds, and we had to reset the race. So you got to be careful when you get on that pipe.
We're not doing any of that here. We're gonna play it smart. But
good guy, Plywood.
Yeah.
So my name is Joseph Joestar316. I have also run MGS1 on the PS3 version, whereas D-Limes is running on PSTV. Some similarities between the two, but more optimizations on the PSTV. But I've done mostly any percent, which has more of the major glitches and skips that Apache was just talking about, whereas the All Bosses doesn't have the major skips that really breaks the game in half in more ways than one. And as it's a really cool run. You guys are going to be in for a treat, starting with the world's best guard.
So we're just going to knock here to lure him off the elevator. I'm going to give him a light punch here just for kicks and grins. And if you do it right, you can kick him as you're on the elevator, but unfortunately we missed it, so no meme there, unfortunately.
That was a very mean thing you did, punching me in the back. I mean, the guy's trying.
Not hard enough.
One of the things with the Metal Gear Solid games in general, there's different categories for each difficulty, and depending on what difficulty you do, you can and can't do different strats versus different bosses. They really become their own runs. If you were looking to pick up one of these games, starting on one of the lower difficulties and build into the higher difficulties is always best, but they all have their own quirks, and I think everyone would agree here that they're really good separate runs, just trying out all the difficulties.
Absolutely. Normal and hard for this game they're kind of weird to a degree, but definitely starting on, if you want to start this game, start on easy. Don't start on extreme. It is a very punishing difficulty.
Right, so you're going to see D-Limes take an intentional alert there, and part of that is just to obtain the chaff grenades, which you're going to see a lot. And, part of the reason is that, for whatever reason, whenever you're running with the chaff or with the SOCOM equipped, Snake actually moves faster versus being unequipped.
Or any weapon, for that matter, that you can move with. But ideally, it's going to be chaff, since we tend to have chaff on a lot just because we're using it. One other thing I'll point out that I did there is I quick equipped it. I didn't actually have to menu to it. Prior to the run, I set up something called RAM manip, where if you take a death or a continue with whatever item and weapon you have equipped at that time. If you start a new game and that's the item you happen to pick up first, you can quick equip to it. So like I took a death before the run started with the chaff and then the level 1 card in my hand. So when I get the level 1 card, I'm just going to tap L1 and just quick equip. So it saves a menu, saves about a half a second or so. Nice little optimization.
Apache, I have a feeling one of those 3 rats that we're seeing is going to be the God Rat later in Rex's Anger. You mark my words.
Sure hope it is. Sure hope it is. It's just making its way there now.
Okay, so you'll see him throw a chaff grenade against the container there, and it's not just for show, but it actually will create a minor distraction as it detonates, so that it'll distract the guard long enough for him to reach the elevator to get now into the B1 section, starting soon to be the guard rush.
So this
Yes.
B1 is normally the split where it would separate all bosses or any percent. There's a vent just right by the ladder where you can do the vent glitch where you basically just go halfway in, go into first person, look up, then press X to get up, and then you go out of bounds. But that's a glitch category. We're not doing that, so we're doing all these bosses.
I think something good about Metal Gear Solid 1 is both the all bosses and the any percent category are both extremely popular, and you do tend to find that people will run both to steal the game. Both very competitive categories.
Yeah, and they both have like their set of challenges to it. I mean, one is not necessarily any easier than the other for just number of reasons. You know, one uses more glitches, and the other one is more about being I guess just efficient with, you know, handling boss fights and managing HP, which for easy, I don't think D-Lamps is going to have to worry about that as much, but when you reach higher difficulties like hard and extreme, health regeneration is not easy to come by, especially on extreme. But yeah, he's just going to wait until, you know, we start the guard rush, which is right now. So he's just going to start unloading on the first 3 guards. Meryl is scripted to really do nothing until, you know, Snake kind of yells at her to do something.
Don't talk to me like a rookie.
Well,
I'm
she's
no
a rookie. All right, so then you're going to see him just hug the door here, and because the guards come in the same way as you take out each wave, you know, since they're facing forward, he can just, you know, unload as they come in, you know, while being out of, you know, line of sight, so doesn't have to worry about taking indirect damage. Just kind of rinse and repeat until you reach this wave here, where you're going to see a set of 3 grenades come out. Just stick to the corner, kill the last 3, and before I can even finish my sentence, the guard rush is already over. But it's, you know, for this difficulty, it's pretty straightforward, but for higher difficulties, it does really become really tough for the all bosses category.
Yeah, higher difficulties, it takes more shots to kill those guards. 3, 4, 5 shots. Sometimes you have to use rations if you're not careful, but on easy difficulty, not that big of a deal. So now we're going to B2. We're going to pick up some C4 here, because we have to blow up a few walls. But we're also going to equip our rations, because we're just going to blow ourselves up to go through the wall. This is similar to what we do in Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. It's just faster, man. Who cares? He can take the damage.
I suppose that's one of the many things that's been found in this game by extensive testing done with emulators and save states to find out the perfect ways to get into the walls.
So here's Ocelot.
His C4 is there to get it out of his inventory as well.
All right, so now he's going to start off the fight with our, you know, good old buddy Ocelot, and then what you're going to see him do is he's going to take a shot at his back, and then Ocelot's going to turn and fire, which is just part of a scripted mechanic. Every time he gets hit, you know, he tries to shoot back. And again, before I can even finish what I'm saying,
that's
the
fight. Yep, you just loop them over and over again. So there is a strategy you can use for this fight and use grenades, but that is really tricky, really precise. And if you accidentally blow up a grenade too close to Baker, the dude who was tied up, you'll take a continue and he'll blow up. So not really smart to do that in a marathon setting. Plus, I suck at it, so no thanks.
It can't be understated how tough the grenade strat is. It requires a lot of practice, and it's still just very easy to do wrong. I wouldn't say it's very marathon friendly at all.
Not at all.
And plus, I'm not sure really if easy if it I guess warrants using the grenade trick to begin with. Even if you do get like all 2 or 3 to hit directly.
Yeah.
But,
So
I
on
mean,
easy,
I've tried doing it. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say on easy it takes 2 grenades. It does save a few seconds, but even with world record, you don't need it yet. It's getting to the point where it can be nice, but you don't need it for record.
All right, so now we're making our way back to the tank hangar, which now you're going to see the actual vent glitch, which is used to do any percent, which is normally done in B1, like he mentioned. But what he's going to do is crawl halfway into the vent, stand up while looking up at the camera, and as you can see, we're out of bounds.
You made that look so easy, and like that it's not. It's very easy to get wrong and have to reset it a few times. And Limes is like really bad at the vent glitch,
I'm
so that was so clean for
historically
him.
bad. It's a meme at this point how bad I am at this. So here's the
So the
tank
whole
fight.
advantage of doing that out of bounds is just to skip the lasers, and you don't have to call Meryl, and it just wastes a lot of time.
Yeah, so it's about a minute, so it's a really good little out of bounds trick there.
Speaking about Meryl, can I come in with a few donations?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
sorry, we just don't shut up, right? My bad.
Don't worry. But yeah, well, we got a few donations. We got a $5 donation from Zelda with no comment, but thanks so much. We have a $9 donation from Baron43 saying, "Not today, Meryl." And we also have a $50 donation from Mayu saying, "Hey guys, Mayu here.
Wow.
Good luck on your limes. Looking forward to awesome gameplay and seeing this game non-broken for once. Also looking forward to great commentary from Apache and Joe. This goes towards killing Meryl to save your meshing finger."
Thank you very much for that. That is much appreciated. I don't really have a problem with mashing. I don't want to waste the 5 minutes. Meryl ain't worth it, so sorry.
I'll just pretend I didn't hear that.
And and for the incentive that you've got going for this game, right now Kill Meryl is with that in the lead with $110, and Save Meryl is falling a bit behind now with $52.
Let's go.
Kill Meryl.
I mean, for anyone that wants to have a heart and save Meryl, you have time to, donate towards that incentive.
Yeah, you got
So
about
when,
maybe 15 minutes, so.
I think pretty much everyone, obviously, to do the speedrun optimally, you would always kill Meryl because it's way faster. You just submit to the torture on the first frame, it lets you straight out of it. There's no real downside to it. Saving Meryl, you have to survive the rounds of torture. It takes longer. Everyone kills Meryl except Joe.
I was
Joe
just about to say.
It's just, I know as a speedrunner I should know better, but it's not a proper ending unless it has Meryl in it. I'm sorry.
Hey man,
It's
you
just
do
the
you.
way it is.
For me
But
and
I guess
Limes,
as we were just, just kind of ad-libbing there. So we're now in the nuclear building with the Nikita, which now D-Limes is going to be taking out the power box, which is going to disable the electric floor, and just ever so carefully dodging the gun camera turrets. Nothing too crazy, but what he's going to do here is unequip the Nikita just before it explodes. It's just a minor optimization trick. I would not recommend doing that on the fly in the middle of a run if you've never done it before. That's just bitter experience for myself saying that. But it's, instead of letting the rocket directly hit the power box, you can unequip before, and the splash damage of the rocket explosion will destroy it.
Yeah, the splash damage is not as big as you think. There's a specific line I look for when I go and get into the menu and then go to unequip it, so that was plenty good.
And I guess coming up is probably one of my favorite boss fights, Apache, which is against our good old ninja friend.
Yeah, I think playing this game as a young man, seeing this cool ninja with a sword was like a big moment for making this one of my favorite games of all time. I absolutely love the cyborg ninja fight.
I don't know, but he's kind of he has like a weird quirk though. But I guess Chat can kind of figure it out in a little bit on what that is. Man, that is a cool looking sword, isn't it?
He's just such a cool character.
So the fight's broken up into a few phases. That little part was phase 1. This is phase 2. Ideally, we want to hit him in 21 times total, so 3, 3, and then just do this 7 times to keep him on the proper cycle.
Yeah, you're kind of at the mercy of RNG a little bit because he's going to move all around the room each time you hit him. You can land a bit closer and further away, but there's not much we can do about that. Just going to try and hit him as quickly as possible when he touches down.
Alright, so I whiffed a punch there, but he didn't go into the next phase, thankfully. So that should be fine. So now we're going to play hide and seek. And this is all RNG. He can hide in one of, I think, 6 spots in the room. That's not the best.
This is also a room where they hide quite a lot of Easter eggs. They do also do it in Twin Snakes. If you notice the posters on the wall for other Kojima games. In Twin Snakes there's obviously the Mario and Yoshi in this room, and the GameCube. I think there's a PlayStation on the desk there in the middle as well. Yeah, little Easter egg room.
So now we're up to the. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, like we're up to the final phase, or about to be, but it's just going to be another rinse and repeat of just, hitting him. And yeah, I mean, he kind of likes being punched. It's sort of weird, but it makes him cool in a way. So another 3 hits.
Fine. So sometimes that can happen. If he approaches you like that, you can get a punch or two in, and then he'll just kind of disappear again without saying any dialogue. So that was nice to get that little glitch.
We're playing on the integral version, which is the Japanese kind of re-release of this game. One thing it doesn't come with is the ability to put the voiceovers into different languages. And if you've never seen this game with the French language and the German language, you really need to check it out. It's so good. The voice acting is horrendous.
And I guess maybe one thing to note is just, like you said, there's different versions of the game. There's, PS3 versions, and then I guess maybe we can explain like what the PSTV itself actually is. Because for some people like myself, I never really knew much about it until I started speedrunning the game itself.
Yeah, it's like a non-portable Vita, right?
Yeah, it's basically a Vita without a screen. It offers fast loads for most PS1 titles and little to no in-game frame lag. But they're pretty rare to find nowadays, at least at a decent price.
They've just shot, like over the last couple of months, they've shot up in price massively. In the UK, they've like doubled in price.
I think I paid like $75 for mine, and now like the cheapest one is like over $200. So
Yowza.
It's pretty bad.
You've got it, hold it daily, especially if you like running PlayStation 1 games. You tend to find that a lot of PS1 games run really fast on the PlayStation TV.
And another benefit is we can turn on fast disk speed, and that's what gives us the advantage over, say, like a PS3 or anything like that.
But I guess while Dean Limes is making his way back up to the B1 floor, I guess if there was any other donations to be snuck in.
But there definitely is one. I got a $15 donation from Edward Mellis saying, just think of it as upgrading the run to true ending. Smiley face. And that actually was put towards saving Meryl, which is currently at $67 with killing Meryl in the lead with $110. So it's getting closer.
It's getting there, but I still like the gap. So
not today, Joe.
Let's go.
Not today.
I was gonna say I like them already.
I'll be point man.
So this is Meryl, who we're hopefully not gonna save.
That's strange. There's no guard.
Yeah, so next boss fight is Psycho Mantis, probably the most surreal boss fight in a video game.
Okay?
Absolutely.
There's also a fourth wall break where he says what happened to the music, and the music in the game stops. The Metal Gear Solid has tons of fourth wall breaks. It's a very it's a game filled with magical realism.
We just toss Meryl there for good luck. It's tradition.
Come on, Mr. Foxhound. The commander is
Yeah, so for the Psycho Mantis fight coming up, we're going to have to switch our controller slots to slot 2. In the PSTV, there's just a menu that we go into to switch our controller slot, and then we can fight Mr. Mantis. So So we're going to throw a
Easily.
stun right at the start here to knock Meryl out, get our menu ready with the SOCOM, and then the fight will begin momentarily.
This is a really, really technical fight, very involved. There's just been unbelievable amounts of work put into speeding this fight up. It's impressive. Little Hideo Kojima reference for the channel change.
And I guess while the screen's coming back, he just swapped to controller 2. For those that remember playing this, in order to actually beat Mantis, you have to swap your controller to, anything but 1, but in this case, just swap it to 2. And as he starts, he's going to took
potato
a little bit of a
aim.
hit. Yeah, so he's going to be using the SOCOM to take out Mantis here, because again, based on difficulty, the damage that you deal to them can change, which for easy, you can use the SOCOM, which will get him close enough to the threshold, which gives you into the next phase. So you'll see he just softens him up with the SOCOM up to a certain point in the health bar, then throws a grenade, which will then push him into the next phase, followed by this little face skip, which you won't have to knock Meryl out a second time, other than the very beginning, which then he's going to possess Meryl a third time. And you might be wondering, oh man, what are we possibly going to do? Snake, better think quick. Oh man, I never would have thought of that. Yeah, we just roll over Meryl, and that's enough to knock her out for, a third time. Yeah, poor Meryl. All right, so then Mantis is going to go back to being in hide and seek. You're going to throw another grenade, and then which triggers close to the end of the fight, which is now Mantis is going to be throwing everything, every chair, every, painting or whatever's in the room, and
Basically
just like that, he's already
kitchen
dead. Yeah, I mean, he's throwing everything at Snake, and, that was a fairly good fight.
Very good, very nice. So one thing in Metal Gear Solid 1, whenever we get the codec screens, we just have to mash X continuously to skip them. In later games and the remake, like Twin Snakes, we could just double tap a button to fast scroll the text. So MGS1 really does have a lot of mashing. Fortunately, Limes is an expert masher, so it's not going to be a problem to him.
But at least for the cutscenes, you can hold X. You don't have to mash through the cutscenes. But the codecs, some of these things are 40, 50 seconds long. They're just punishing on the arm. But I got a strong arm.
I think the longest
it's
one's
good.
got to be like in Disc 2 when you're on one of the freight elevators. It's pretty horrendous.
Yeah, I think it's the one coming back from the red Palkey, or it could be the one in the torture cell. I think they're both about 50 seconds.
We're just going to stroke the dog to get past them quicker. Yeah, if you just give them a little stroke on the head, it moves them out of the way. It's a little bit faster.
That's a very nice, subtle way of saying that, no doggos are harmed in the making of this run. I mean,
absolutely not.
We're just giving the people what they want. They want to pet the dog, so we pet the dog. Kappa.
They're not too bad in Metal Gear Solid 1. They're absolutely ruthless in Twin Snakes. The dogs are terrifying in Twin Snakes.
Oh, dude, like they pounce across the room. It's ridiculous.
And since we can't use the mine detector,
but I guess while Meryl is showing off how smart she is now, seeing where the mines are, if there's another quick donation.
Not at the moment, but saving Meryl is still about $43 behind. So if you want to see Meryl being saved, there's definitely still the opportunity for it. And if that's not enough of an incentive for you to donate, there's also these prizes that you can win for donating. If you donate at least $30 during this marathon throughout the entirety of it, you'll be eligible to win a ViewSonic Elite monitor. And if you donate at least $50, you'll be eligible to win a Nintendo Switch. So, if you want to snipe saving Meryl, you can also immediately win a Switch if you don't, or immediately you have a chance of winning one for $50. So killing two birds with one stone, I feel like that's a good option.
So
always save Meryl, of course.
I was not impressed with what Meryl did there, so I just said, screw it, we're just going to run forward and hope for the best, and, well, voila, we didn't hit any Claymore mines. Just shows how smart we are.
I mean, 200 IQ plays, man. So, Meryl's kind of in trouble, so we got to back travel to the armory, which is going to be, back traveling all the way from here through the Tank Canyon to acquire the PSG1 sniper rifle. And again, just making our way through the caverns and just gently patting the...
Stroke the dog. Yep.
Yeah, just
a gentle
petting
stroke, just
the
a pat.
doggo, just letting him know that, we're here for them. We're not going to be mean to them. Or are we?
Yeah, so Meryl's pinned down by Sniper Wolf for the Wolf 1 fight. Before we can take on that fight at all, we will have to go get a sniper rifle to fight her with. If you're playing this game casually, they tell you where it is and where to go. The rooms get pretty interesting when you're going back through them. Different strats to get through them, but it's just like so typical of a Metal Gear game to have this like artificial extension of the game and reuse the level assets. Is like such a common theme on the games.
And actually, as a fun fact, in the Twin Snakes version of this, they've added the PSG-1T, which is the non-lethal version of the PSG-1 sniper rifle, which is located in the B1 office area. It's in one of the doors that is accessible after you trigger the Sniper Wolf fight. So the devs at that time added a little more reasonable shortcut for players that felt like they didn't want to back travel all the way back to the armory. But in this one, it's just pretty routine. Also, careful of the mines.
Yeah, so this field has been... You're good. This field has been remined. We take a particular line to try to avoid Claymore mines, and looks like we did, thankfully.
Yeah, this area of the game always scares me whenever I run this because of those mines.
I very rarely mess that up, but I was doing a stream a couple days ago, and I hit it, and I just threw my controller. It was kind of a funny throw, but yeah, it can be very demoralizing if you hit a mine. And I hit 2 mines, actually. I hit one, then tried to correct myself, and then I hit another mine.
I know the feeling, man. It's okay.
Do you use the DualShock 3 for this game?
DualShock 4.
So do you have an adapter?
No. The PSTV handles DualShock 4 natively.
Damn,
okay, so one thing you'll notice is that, like, as D-Limes went in to acquire the PSG-1, the room is, filled with lasers, which will trip an alert sequence here. But he did this intentionally to lure 2 of the 3 guards closer to him while timing a stun grenade to explode. And stun grenades in this game are really amazing. They have wide coverage. And it could take out a whole room, essentially. And so it takes out 2 of the guards immediately, the 3rd one soon after, buying him enough time to pick up the weapon, some ammo, get to the door for the elevator, and then he does a punch kick to push the guard further away from him as the door opens. And also interesting note is that you cannot operate the elevators during an alert and evasion sequence, whereas in the sequel in MGS2, and thus Twin Snakes, they allow you to operate it in evasion caution sequences, but not an alert. And so we got the rifle, and now we're just making our way back to take on Sniper Wolf, which once he reaches the door to start the fight to Sniper Wolf is when the incentive for saving or continuing to kill Meryl, if that's in the lead still, that's when it'll end.
Actually, we just got a $50 anonymous donation. No comment, but now Save Meryl is in the lead with $114.
Oh, I don't know who they are, but I love you.
All right, you got like a minute. Come on.
Save Limes, kill Meryl.
Save Limes' bashing finger, kill Meryl.
Oh, don't let Joe get one over on us like this. Not like this.
At least I can mash. It's my only saving grace.
Yeah.
Alright,
so it's about to end, not when he gets through both of these crawl sections, but once he reaches the door, which is about to happen in probably less than 20 seconds.
Yeah, so as soon as the Wolf 1 fight begins, that's the cutoff. And that's in about 10 seconds.
Any last incentives? Speak now or forever hold your peace. And...
cut it off.
Yep, that's it.
Alright, so this is Wolf 1.
So we're going to use the sniper to shoot Wolf as many times as possible. She'll run left to right. She can stop at different points, kneel down, begin to aim at us. Sometimes she can hide behind that post there, and you'll see Limes just flick on and off his sniper rifle to reacquire his aim on her. You just want to hit her anywhere. Basically, acknowledge that she's moving left and right. Oh, nice shot. Nice. We did it. We got her.
So I guess it's the official tally now. Is,
yep,
save Meryl?
I do need to know which one I'm doing.
Save Meryl.
Save Meryl? Okay.
Yes, it won by $117 in comparison to Kill Meryl with $110. And thanks everyone so much for donating towards that.
Yeah, we joke around, but really appreciate everyone donating to that.
Yeah,
it's so good to see.
Definitely appreciate all the donations. So we'll save her. We will be doing the mash.
Fun fact, but if you fail the torture, the game ends. It doesn't. It's not like a game over screen. You're dead. It's over. Unlikely we'll see that. Limes is pretty good at mashing. So when we save Otacon, which is what we mostly do for the speedrun, we'll just immediately hit select to just give up the torture. I think there's three rounds. I want to say.
I think it's 3.
Yeah.
And then on high difficulties, it's more.
Yeah, because I think it goes 3 to 4 to 5 and all the way up to 6, which is on extreme.
Right.
And it's, because it may look like it's simple now, but keep in mind that, D-Limes' health bar and Snake on this difficulty is really generous. And as you go up on difficulty, the health bar total is smaller. So you can think of it as, it might be 3-4 segments of just mashing, but, your total health bar is different. Based on difficulty. So like once you get up to hard, then you'll start to notice really the most, given that you do this.
Yeah, I say this all the time, but Metal Gear Solid 1's actually an RPG, and you have ranks, and you get you like level up when you kill bosses, increases your health and number of items you can hold and things.
And I guess since we're doing this ending, we're gonna be greeted with our resident, favorite guard of the game, or at least is my favorite guard of the game, which is our buddy Johnny, and he's got a cold apparently.
Poor Johnny. He's had a rough day.
We love Johnny here.
Yeah, we've got a bit of Johnny tech to make these rooms faster.
Yeah, so you'll just see him punch in midair, knock on the walls occasionally, and what that's gonna do is just interrupt Johnny's script of not necessarily patrolling the room, but every once in a while, he'll just sneeze, which, believe it or not, over time does add up to, probably like several seconds of time loss if you just, sit still and do nothing. But, you'll be scripted with codecs to answer based on which ending you try to do. And in the meantime, you just kind of, practice your, crawling skills. If you want to practice the bed glitch, this is actually a good place to do it. You can just practice on clipping on top of the bed like this. Man, look at Snake's muscles, dude. I never realized he was this ripped.
He's so ripped.
It's a decent haircut, too.
He's
man.
Ripped to the fullest extent that the PlayStation 1 graphics will allow him to be.
Yeah, so I'm just mashing triangle, basically, as I move the D-pad to do this. It's pretty weird. Pretty freaky.
I've never seen that before.
Neither have I, but it looks amazing. Oh yeah, there's our prison buddy, well, what's left of the DARPA chief. Oh, wait a minute, did the DARPA chief die earlier?
Yeah, he's seen better days. I think he died of a heart attack.
Alright, round 2.
Alright, you got this, man.
I'll tell you once more.
Don't press select.
yeah. That's the thing, like, normally when we're doing this run, we're just spamming select repeatedly.
I'm like keeping my hand away from that.
I mean, it might seem like Snake's going through a rough time, but this isn't really torture. I mean, he's just getting electric, induced massage.
I thought it was a big tickle machine. Is it not a big tickle machine?
You know, it's funny that you say that, Apache, because there's another fun fact, which unrelated to this, but in Peace Walker, the Japanese version had swapped out the audio track of what normally be a torture, which was replaced with laughing, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a cool. I did not know that's a cool fact.
Yeah, it was just something about with you know, like I guess the you know, like censorship laws or something, where it was like they couldn't include the, you know, the torture soundtrack or like the things associated to it. So instead of hearing Snake, you know, getting electrocuted, you just, you know, hear a bunch of laughter. It's really great. If you YouTube it, you will not regret it.
Yeah,
So guys, let me just say, my thoughts about that torture.
That was easy.
Oh man, how did I know that was coming? I see you came prepared for this, Dean Limes. But that was easy.
You always know you're getting a long codec if Naomi Hunter's in there. That's the girl on the screen at the moment. If she's in a codec, it's always long. She loves to talk.
Kind of like you guys.
Yeah, true that. So yeah, normally, well, I say normally, in the any percent run, we basically skip into this cell straight away at the start. So it saves about 30. There's about 30-minute difference between the all bosses and any percent. So it's a huge portion of the game we skip with the vent glitch, and actually, that lets us pass 7 bosses out of the 10. I want to say 7 from 10. I think that's right.
So you skip Guard Rush, Ocelot, Tank, Ninja. It's 4. Mantis, Wolf 1. That's 6. But then there's an additional glitch that'll skip Hind. That's separate though. So.
I mean, it basically takes it from fighting everything to only down to 3 boss fights total at any percent, which is, you know, unbelievable to hear, but it's a huge difference. Oh, look, it's our buddy Otacon. Sorry, buddy. It's a Meryl ending this time.
See you later.
See ya, buddy.
Wait.
So of course, like if you're stuck in a cell, you got friends come and help you get out of it. He's going to need to bring the ketchup. Lather yourself up in ketchup, lie on the floor. That's the best way. That'll trick him.
No, man, Johnny's gonna see right through this. There's no way Snake just got, you know, sliced in half by the door with, you know, with ketchup. Well, I'm mistaken. It's like, oh my god, what just happened?
Nice little teleport there.
Yeah, really nice. It was like instant transmission.
So the whole setup with D-Limes lying on the floor in between, you know, halfway up the door is so that when he stands up, it puts him in the same position where Johnny would be, which, you know, sad to say, has departed us. He will be missed.
And I threw an explosive there. There was a little timer bomb if you save Meryl. If that goes off in your inventory when that timer goes out, you take a game over wherever that explodes at. So we just get rid of that thing right away. That's a little parting gift from Ocelot.
Actually, I haven't seen a Meryl run in so long that I actually forgot that existed. If this was me running this now, we would have been exploding 100%.
I forgot until about 2 hours ago, so Jaguar King reminded me of that, and I thank him for that.
I think I've actually had it happen once to me, and it's like by the time you get to repel or finished repel is when it would go off. Is like the general reminder of like, hey, you forgot to throw this away. Whereas the Otacon ending, since you get out sooner, then you won't get the time bomb to worry about.
Yeah, so we're basically going through these same rooms again like we did earlier. Just trying to backtrack to what we were doing before.
Yeah, this room is the worst to take an alert in because the entire room floods with gas and it traps you in there. You're basically dead if you get caught in this room, so it's one to be really careful with.
You know, that's a good thing to point out is that, and as you know, as much as I love the game, but there's a lot of, you know, what I kind of refer to like as like beginner's trap, where it's either this room, the laser door, the control room, and Rex's hangar, where if you get a detection and coincidentally they all have, you know, they're all filled with gas, and it's just one of those things where it's like if you trip it, I mean, it's like you're screwed. it's like there was probably like the one thing I remember when playing this was like, man, there's just so many like beginner's traps or something. It's just like you just kind of want to enjoy the game, and then just like, oh, guess what, I'm dead.
Yeah, keep you on your toes, and I do think that Metal Gear Solid casually, even on the lower difficulties, is quite a hard game. Certainly compared to 2, where the difficulty was toned down massively for the lower difficulties, and then extended so much for the higher difficulties.
As a fun fact here, you can actually use the handkerchief that Otacon provided to you along with the ketchup and, the key card and rations. But for optimization and given on this difficulty, D-Lime's just going to opt out of it. It's not worth menuing it in. But it just prevents the dogs from attacking you if you have the handkerchief equipped.
Yeah, it's something you may want to do on Extreme, especially when you're starting out, because you don't get a lot of health to begin with. So equipping the handkerchief, trying to save that health on Extreme, it's probably recommended.
And I guess as he's making his way now into what's going to be Tower A, and, let me just say this. If you like stairs, there's going to be a whole lot of them.
Yeah, Limes is a Stairmaster.
Stairmaster 1998, so basically there's going to be a lot of guards chasing us. We're going to use 2 stun grenades, one here to trigger the alert quicker, and then one throughout the stair climb. And then we're just going to be throwing guards throughout.
Yeah, so there's a little cutscene skip. If you get an alert before you go through that door, the alert just triggers straight away and you skip a little cutscene of the guards coming behind you. It saves a few seconds. And now we're just going to, leg it up the stairs as fast as possible. There's guards coming from behind us that we sort of slowed down with that first stun grenade, and there's also guards appearing in front of us as well. They kind of spawn in because the room just repeatedly loads itself again, like it doesn't exist as one big level. And that can sometimes mess with how the guards attack us. So you really have to pay attention throughout all of this. It can be tricky.
And then again, you're just seeing the use of having the grenades equipped as he's going up the stairs, because, like I mentioned at the beginning, it's, you do move faster with an item equipped that you can actually move with. In this case, it's the stunts.
If you re-equip after you've thrown a guard as well, it cancels the end of the animation. It's a quick throw. That's really useful all through this room, and you just literally deselecting the item and reselecting it after you've thrown them. It's a good little trick to speed up this section.
Man, look at him climb those stairs, man. He's not even tired. Okay, so I think there's about, let me see, I think he's on 25, so he's right at the top now. So that's the last set of guards he's got to deal with. Now he's just got to zigzag his way up to the ladder, which ends the Stairmaster climbing.
That was a clean ladder. Took a shot, but, it's inevitable.
Yeah, getting shot once or twice is pretty standard on that, so pretty good climb. It's very important we equip the rope here because we're going to be rappelling down a wall. If you don't pick up the rope at the bottom of the stairs, the game will make you go all the way back down the stairs to go get that rope. So if you miss that rope pickup, you're in for a sore time.
Oh man, why did Liquid have to go and do that? Man, blowing up the bridge, we're just trying to speedrun here.
Yeah, just making our lives difficult. Now we gotta be a hero and get down a wall.
Plywood has made many guides for this game. If you search Plywood MGS on YouTube, he's especially made really good content for how to do this rappel safely without taking any hits with the inputs shown on the screen as well. So if you want to learn, even if you're not going to speedrun this game, you want to learn how to play it a bit better, it's a really good channel to check out.
And to add on to that, I've learned how to run the any percent category of this game, not only through our community managed wiki, but Plywood has videos as part of that wiki, which has helped me a lot, doing things like proper vent glitching, weapons glitching, and a bunch of other things that are required for running the any percent. So shout outs to Plywood.
Yeah, MetalGearSpeedrunners.com, and we have a Discord and a wiki, obviously, if you want to learn any of these games. There's plenty of content. More being made all the time, right? But there's a lot for this game.
All right, so now coming up is the... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Apache.
Yeah, the catwalk. It's really, really tricky because the gunfire from the guards will actually knock you back. And if you get knocked back once, you're pretty much stuck. And you'll just keep getting shot every time you stand up. It looks a lot easier than it actually is. But Limes just for a stun grenade did some tricky movement to avoid the bullets there. That was very clean.
Yeah.
All I was going to say about the
easy.
catwalk is that it's probably one of the easiest places to get triggered when running this game, when you get hit.
Absolutely. I have taken many deaths there before, and sometimes they can shoot some odd shots or do like a late shot as you're trying to avoid the shots, kind of like a stray bullet, and then you just take a death at that point. Can't really control that, but fortunately we didn't get those extra stray bullets.
Yeah, really, really clean. It is one. I think it's like the only place where bullets like knock you back like that. Normally, getting shot doesn't do that, but it does on the catwalk.
I guess the only other one that would possibly do that, but not from a guard, would be the sniper wolf fights. If you hit the invisible line barrier for like out of bounds. So yeah, he just went down all the way to floor 2 to trigger a cutscene of Snake saying "damn," just to indicate that the stairs are blown up, and he's got to make his way back up to the elevator to trigger a cutscene with Otacon, which in the meantime Snake is going to be going all the way up these set of stairs. I mean, if you like the first set of stair climbs in Tower A, Tower B is just as good.
Oh, if you like stairs, we've got you covered.
Yeah, I mean, except the only problem with these set of stairs is that every 4 levels there's a set of gun cam turrets that you would have to be on the lookout for, which with the power of the chaff grenade, you just throw them just slightly before you reach the gun cam turrets. If you're really good about it, you can actually time it where you don't need to use up as many. But, it's just pretty straightforward. But man, look at him climb those stairs. Yeah, he's not even tired from the first set.
He's throwing chaff grenades. They distract the camera. They prevent the cameras from being able to lock onto you or cause alerts. The length of one chaff grenade can cover 2 sets of cameras as long as you throw it at the right time. So that was really nice. Got to get those stinger bullets as well.
So the Hind D fight coming up, we're going to be taking on a helicopter with our Stinger missile. Very tricky fight. We definitely have to use rations for this fight. And then I'm just going to focus.
It's one thing that we can be assured of is that we're getting shot. We're always going to take damage from the Hind pretty much. It has like iframes. You see the Stinger can lock onto the Hind. When those boxes disappear, it has iframes, but after you've dealt damage and as the iframes are coming off, you can time your shots to hit it again, so you don't have to wait for the lock-on to come back. This is an extremely tricky fight, no matter what difficulty you're doing it on. It's tough.
Yeah, so what he's doing here is that he's timing his shots so that as he's hitting them, the Hind is scripted to try to do a 180 maneuver and then double back to attack you once again, and he's just using a specific angle to time the shots, which he's done now with the first phase, which now he's getting the first missile, and as soon as that detonates, it's going to start now the second phase, which is going to have Liquid piloting the Hind D be a little more aggressive, where he's not going to make these wide passovers, which we're going to use to our advantage here, where if you actually attack the Hind D in quick succession here before he has a chance to descend below the tower and waste your time trying to ascend up again, you can actually just continuously hit him, timing past the iframes, which is going to keep him in a loop so that he never descends below you, which is optimally what you want. You want to keep him up here in phase 2, because if you actually let him go down even once, you're losing, I don't know, just like as a rough guess, probably like a good like 10-15 seconds, because his intervals when he goes down and sweeps to come up changes. It's pretty random, but that was a pretty good phase 2.
Really clean fight. You also saw that he emptied his Stinger bullets, and that means that an ammo pack of 5 will spawn. So instead of having 1, he has 5 now. Just a little optimization while he's waiting for this fight to end.
That's the fight.
Wow, nicely done. Man, that has got to be the world's toughest helicopter. It's like, it took so many rounds.
So,
but yes,
I was gonna say, our bro Otacon has fixed the elevator, so now we're gonna head back down and try to get down to the bottom of the tower again. So, more Stairmaster.
And while he starts the Stairmaster for the third time, if there's any other donations or shout-outs you'd like to make, that'd be perfect.
All right then. Like, honestly, I'm very, very happy that we saved Meryl during the run. But you know, also like saving people, the Alzheimer's Foundation, which we are raising money for, because Alzheimer's, it's still the 6th leading cause of death in the United States, and on average, a person with Alzheimer's lives 4 to 8 years after diagnosis. But they can live as long as 20 years, depending on other factors. And yeah, the Alzheimer's Foundation is every donation that is made right now will go to the Alzheimer's Foundation, which helps people with the Alzheimer's disease to hopefully find a cure.
Yeah, it's a very it's a very good cause. I mean, I'm sure people watching, but like I've had family members that were diagnosed with it, and it's every little bit helps. So now we're waiting for the elevator to come back up, which our brother Otacon fixed it up for us, or so we thought. Which is kind of leading into another suspense. I mean, it wouldn't be Metal Gear without suspense. I mean, what the weight limit just went off. I mean, Apache, I know Snake is ripped and he's got good muscles, but he's not that heavy.
He's not that big.
There's got to be something odd about all of this. Wait a minute.
What it could be.
Oh my God! There's 4 guards with him. Whatever are we gonna do?
Do you ever feel like 4 guards with access to stealth camo could have done more damage than this?
I think they maybe just wanted to give Snake a little bit of a chance, but you would also think, yeah, with stealth technology, why would they just wait in the elevator? I mean, there's plenty of other places to ambush them, but
yeah. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I love that scene. I love how Archon's face goes massive in the codec screen as well.
Oh, I know, dude. It's the best. He's just like, nah! There's 4 guys with you. Look out!
that face gave me nightmares when I was a kid. Is that?
So now coming up is second helping of Sniper Wolf, because one fight's not enough.
Yeah,
Wolf
this
2,
is
Electric Boogaloo.
This is the worst fight in the game, at least for me. This is a lot of RNG. She can hide, she can double back, she can shoot at you constantly. I tend to use a lot of stingers in the fight because I don't really like the sniper rifle. So let's see what kind of pattern she gives me.
So he's going to use the stinger to locate where she is, and her starting point, her movement behavior, it's pretty random. There is like some things you can do to mitigate some of the things that she do here. So like if she's going to take cover behind a tree, you can actually use the Stinger missile launcher, which is having a little bit of a hard time trying to get a lock on and a hit. But if she takes cover behind a tree, you can actually use the Stinger to actually damage her, which will cause her to move to line up another shot. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. There's a hit. But yeah, like you said, trying to aim with the sniper while she's moving around without the diazepims, which are the accessories you can pick up that will steady your aim so you don't get the shaky aim as bad. Although there's other things you can do to regain steady aim without the use of those. So for now, he's going to continue to use the Stinger. He's getting somewhat of a ugly moving pattern. She's moving a lot.
Yeah, we just can't account for this. It's RNG how she's going to move.
Okay, the end was pretty good. That's not bad.
Yeah, he picked up some nice damage in the second half.
Yeah, she brought a sniper to a rocket launcher fight.
Yep.
But that's the fight.
So we're coming up on the disc change, but we're on PSTV, so we're just going to get into our PSTV menu and change our digital disc.
I don't know, man. Did you practice changing the disc? I always get
be
worried.
Be sure not to press the power off button. That would be really, really bad. I've done that one time.
Oh man, we're going to disc 2. Let's go.
There's an excellent run by Tromboncino when he first played on the PSTV, and he had no idea how to change disc. And on his like PB run, he's just looking through the options to try and find where it is. As long as you don't press power off, we're generally okay, right? This is a cool little trick we do here. If you throw the stun grenade behind a closed door, so he threw it there and then the door closed, the stun grenade will go off, but it won't cause an alert, but it'll still stun everyone in the room. Also, he uses a grenade to destroy the crane. It's a really tricky little bit of movement. You have to get a long throw on the grenade. We use the radar to spot where the crane is, and then another little tricky throw. He went to try and knock that guard out with a grenade, but just threw him because it missed. It's a nice little backup. The cargo elevator slowly rises up, but if you leave the room and go back in, it's just immediately at the top again. So, a little time saver there.
Yeah, because like in the Twin Snakes version of this sequence, they made the elevator come up a lot sooner, where you don't have to, use the room to reload to get it to show up sooner. And once again, more guards.
Yeah, to do this room like this, the movement is really tricky. That was nice. To throw the guards off to do the quick throw and throw the guards off the cargo elevator, your movement has to be really good, and also to avoid the shots as well.
I had no real reason to throw the grenade there, but I just felt like throwing a grenade.
We don't need 12 grenades, 11's enough.
Yeah, that gun cam turret right there, the one that was trying to shoot him, is gotta be the worst one in the entire game because, if I'm not mistaken, but like its movement pattern is independent of everything else. Like it doesn't follow any consistency. It starts like as you start the game. So like when you come back, it'll be facing at you, it'll be facing away, and I've seen runs die to it on higher difficulties because generally, depending on your health management, it can take you out. Oh, I see you're making friends with the ravens in there.
I am, yeah.
You can also stroke the ravens. For all the animal lovers out there.
Yeah, we're just stroking them. Just a nice little pet. It's harmless. So, coming up is the Vulcan Raven fight. We're basically just going to be tanking a lot of damage and just chucking grenades in his face. So...
yeah, so we route... on the route for this game, we make sure we have plenty of rations for this fight because we're going to take a lot of damage in order to do it efficiently. We're just going to camp him out.
For casual approaches to this, you would be more instructed to use either the Nikita missile launcher or the Stinger. But in this case, since we're on the easy difficulty and we have plenty of rations at our disposal, what D-Limes is going to do is just get right in front of Raven and say, you know what, your minigun doesn't scare me. I got a lot of grenades and rations. Let's see who can, live longer. And so every time he takes a hit and then falls down, he's planting another grenade, which is going to detonate between iframes of both when Raven takes a hit as well as when D-Limes takes a hit. And that was pretty straightforward. Nice
Very
fight.
clean. If you get to this point and you don't have enough rations, there is one in the top right corner that you can run and grab before you approach him.
Yeah, you pretty much need bare minimum one ration to do this fight. You can do it with none, but you're going to have to move away from him and just kind of evade some of his hits. You can't tank as much, but thankfully on easy we had all 5, so...
So now I guess coming up is going to be what's, not this room, but in Rex's hangar is probably my favorite place in the whole game when running this, because not only is just the layout really cool, but the music to it is epic. And there it is, Metal Gear Rex. And we're zooming.
Yeah, so for anyone who's not played the game, Metal Gears are bipedal nuke launching machines. They're what Snake's here to stop. And so we're gonna have to deactivate Metal Gear, right? That's on the agenda now. I'm
That's
gonna take the PAL
that's our
key
goal.
and deactivate Metal Gear.
Can't let it take over the world. And our boy Otacon is hacking the computer system to try to find out information about Metal Gear, how to deactivate it, just things of that nature, try to help us out.
The game likes to throw you off as much as possible, and in one of the codecs, Otacon's like, oh, it's really quiet, there's no guards here. And then right at the end of the room, they hide one guard. It puts you like it tries to lead you into false sense of security, thinking that the area's got no guards in it.
You know, you would think with a place like this with as many guards as it has, they would maybe put more than just one guy guarding such an important,
It's just not in the budget.
thing.
It's just not in the budget. Something Limes did there was he unequipped and re-equipped his weapon multiple times. It makes Snake look like he's kind of like ice skating. It silences your footsteps, so when you go over there's like metal grates in the floor. Normally if you walk over them, they make a sound and the guards can hear it. But if you unequip and re-equip rapidly, it doesn't make any sound. And we'll see that trick multiple times here, because we have to go to and from the PAL room multiple times. The PAL key room.
Alright, so now, since Snake got detected, trying to listen into the conversation between Liquid and Ocelot, we lost control of the PAL key, which is now down in the radiation channel, the drainage ditch.
Mhm.
But it's in possession of a rat, which, depending on which one it is, which is random, there are 3 different types of rats you can get. One, which is the god rat, which is the closest one from where it spawns given when you come back here, which is going to check. Okay, so it's not there.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Is this
there he
the
is.
infamous third rat? Oh, there he is. So he was running a little bit behind. I don't think it got the memo that we're running a marathon, so it kind of just took its time. So he's going to fire the stinger, destroy the rat, which conveniently drops the PAL key that we need again. And now make our way back up to the control room, where we now start the process of, deactivating Rex.
You really can't complain at a rat like that. I mean, you can be stood in that room for a minute plus, waiting for that thing to come out.
Yeah, it's an average rat. I mean, it's okay. So definitely take that in a marathon.
Yeah, because ideally you want that location rat, but to be there as soon as you're ready to go to fire. A second spawn location is in a upper left corner of the room, which I refer to as camera rat because there's a gun cam turret that's right next to it. And then the third elusive rat, which is the one that spawns in either place and it's just kind of hiding somewhere, and you gotta wait an eternity for it to show up in either place. But yeah, very, very good rat given the marathon setting at the very least.
Just can't complain at it.
I don't know. I just get camera rats all the time, so I'm just happy that I even got this one, honestly. It's like every time I play this game, it's like, okay, this is going to be the one with God Rat, and guess what? Nope, another camera rat. I lose maybe 5 to 6 seconds having to go get it.
The speedruns on all the difficulties really for Metal Gear Solid 1 are getting to the point where you absolutely have to have good RNG on the rat. Like, it's just unacceptable to lose time because everyone's playing so efficiently and tight. And I'd say that's the majority of the difficulties now. Really so optimized that you kind of have to grind for that RNG to some extent.
Yeah, especially on the PC port of this game, that's basically an entirely different game. You have to have a God Rat or pretty much near God Rat if you want to compete for the top times. It's just that optimized.
So now you notice that he put in one of the what's going to be 3 PAL key entries. The first one is the default PAL card, which is at room temperature, and he's going to have to now change the PAL cards, which is going to be to blue, indicating for cold, followed by the red PAL key, which is going to be making it hotter, which he's going to make his way to the blast furnace for that one later. So what he's going to do now is just collect some items because he has to wait, which I think is 61 seconds for the card to change from once you enter the room. So for those wondering, well, how long do you have to wait and how do you know when it's ready? Well, it's 61 seconds, but each one has a little trick to it that you can use. And in this room, you can actually use an audio cue, which is listening to the music of the freezer, which on a certain violin track, which I'm gonna be quiet so you can listen to it.
It's okay. I use a timer instead. I look at a clock or my live split timer. I'm looking at my system clock right now, so that's my cue.
All right. I didn't want to be held responsible for
No,
sabotaging the
you're
run
fine.
because you couldn't hear it.
I use the timer as well, and I always add 5 seconds to account for being an idiot. So, like, there's nothing worse than getting to the room and your key's not the right color. You have to come all the way back.
Yeah, so I waited
yeah.
probably an extra second there just to be safe, but I'm stubborn. I don't want to check the card. I don't want to menu to the card, so...
Yeah, because the whole reason for using these strategies, whether if it's audio, time, or some other way, is so that you minimize menuing to the PAL key. Even though you're tempted to check it, you don't want to go all the way back just to find out that it's wrong. But like Apache and D-Limes are saying is that for some of the boards, like they're so optimized that not only do you need GodRat, but you need to do things like not check the PAL key, because every menu that you do matters, even if it's for just a simple check. And I would not recommend doing something like that on your first go around, like where you can check it, but as you get better, then you eventually do things such as like not checking the PAL key.
Could I come in for a quick donation?
Sure.
Absolutely.
All right, we have a $75 donation from Pixel Pair. Thank you so much for that donation. And with that, we're actually approaching the 12K. Only $115 to go for that. So can we get that before the end of the run? I would think so.
I bet we can. So get those donations rolling. Thank you for the 75. Very generous. So he's now put in the second of 3 PAL keys. So now he's going to back travel to the blast furnace now, which is going to be probably the longest part of the task. And it also is a fun fact for the actual PAL key process in Twin Snakes. Because again, the back traveling can be daunting to some players. So what they did in Rex's hangar is that it was redesigned with a small platform which contains a hot and cold piping system, which you could just stand next to it, shoot it with the SOCOM, and it'll actually change the PAL card instantly depending on which one that you hit, which, eliminates the need of having to back travel to both the freezer and the blast furnace. Unlike the original game, we're in for quite a long trip, but it's, I don't know. I think there's something relaxing about it in a run because you're just kind of moving back and forth from point A to point B, dodging gun cam turrets, falling floor panels. I mean, what's there not to like?
And nothing can go wrong.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely nothing can go wrong. Oh, look, they added some guards now. Oh, I see what you did there. You just wanted to let them know that you were there and just give them a little parting gift with that grenade.
Exactly. Don't need them. I only need one, but we'll throw the other one later. So yeah, as we said, we're heading back up. A lot of backtracking in this part, but it can be a relaxing part. It can also be a very nerve-wracking part if you're on a really good pace, and it can take what seems like 5,000 years. But it's the nature of the game.
I think on a personal note, like, the 3 of us really do appreciate the low difficulties for this game. All 3 of us run these games on the lower and higher difficulties. We run extreme, Euro extreme. There's something like interesting to be found in every single difficulty, and I think exploring that has been one of the major things that I've enjoyed about speedrunning the Metal Gear series. Me and Limes have spent hours in a Discord trying to find half-second time saves for random difficulties on these games. We just like playing them. We just like playing them all, and there really isn't like a European extreme and stuff. Those difficulties notations are for when you're playing the game casually. When you're speedrunning the game, you will find difficulty when you want to get that time as low as possible. there's plenty of things difficult about the low difficulties.
And that's kind of what drew me into speedrunning in general, is there's a lot of numbers involved with it. And I'm a big numbers guy. I love analytics and factoring numbers and trying to figure out what saves frames, what's faster, what's slower. Like, I like working with numbers. And speedrunning is a lot of numbers and a lot of calculations on the fly. Can I save this here? What can I do to save time here? How can I take this risky? Like, that's what draws me into this.
Yeah, and I guess to kind of add on to that again is that, both the lower and higher difficulties offer a lot of beneficial things, because the difficulty might either be intimidating or seem like not as big of a challenge, is that for me, a lot of the easier difficulties can teach a lot of the basic lessons that apply to the higher ones, such as, optimizing your movement, your menuing, and you just build upon that. And I think it took me, quite a while to truly appreciate what those lessons really had to offer.
Yeah, I mean, Lime started speedrunning on very easy Metal Gear Solid 2, and he now has every record on every single difficulty. The fundamentals that you learn from the low difficulties, you can carry into the higher difficulties. If you're starting on European Extreme, it's very difficult. I tried it with the Twin Snakes Extreme. It's scary. Joe's managed it though, starting with the high difficulties. I'd recommend to anyone, if you want to get into these games, start with the basics and build yourself up.
Yeah, I kind of was in the backwards, where I started with the higher difficulties and eventually worked more of the lower ones in, which again was just part of improving my own runs myself, especially in games like MGS2, where I think it was running VE that made me truly appreciate that the movement was important, and it motivated me to actually get better and not just really take things carelessly. Man, what an angle view right there.
Yeah, this game has they have some sick camera angles in this game. There's a lot of hidden camera angles that they programmed into this.
Yeah, I love the additional shots that you can get and views of the room. It's an absolutely beautiful game. I mean, this is pre-2000. This is 1998, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the original release.
And it still looks incredible, and it still plays well to this day. Yep. I adore this game.
It's my second favorite game. I still give MGS2 the nod, but it's close. I only give MGS2 the nod just because there's a lot more to do in that game, and I like the mechanics just a little bit better. But I mean, this is a stellar game. I grew up with this, as a lot of people did.
I think 3's the best.
No.
Ground Zeroes is where it's at.
No.
I think that's brilliant. In a series, just having so many good games as well, and everyone's got their own favorites and different experiences with them. One of the things that I love about the Discord is when people join it, they always share their history of how they started running the game or how they started playing the game, and everyone's got a wholesome story about it, right? It's a great series.
Actually, to add on to that again is, because, we all love the games for, different reasons. I mean, it's, I just really couldn't wrap my mind about just trying to specialize in one or two games. I was like, man, I got to learn the next one, because, like D-Limes, I grew up with a lot of these games too. And, it was just okay, I want to learn how to run 4. I want to learn how to run Twin Snakes. And it just kind of grew from that. And it's always amazing when you get new people that want to learn running games, and they just come with the same story. Yeah, dude, I mean, I remember playing this when I was younger, saw a speed run. I was like, man, I got to do this myself. And it's absolutely a joy to see.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone's moving as fast as Joe through all the games, but I think me and Limes were slowly picking up more and more titles. We just want to play all the difficulties as well, so it makes the task even harder when you're trying to. If you want to learn every Metal Gear Solid game and every difficulty, it's a lot of runs.
So now we're coming back to the hangar for the final PAL card entry. So I know it seemed like quite an adventure, but it's finally about to come to its epic conclusion, which is going to be the last set of ladder climbs here. I'm gonna miss these ladders, dude. I don't know about you, man, but it's just Rex's hangar is so much fun. I'm gonna miss it.
Great
It's
music.
such a cool looking room.
Mhm.
Before you reach that section, can I come in with a big donation here?
Yeah,
You're more than welcome.
All right, we got a $115 donation from Mayu.
Wow.
saying, here's another one from me. Really want to see that 12K before MGS ends. Love the run and the commentary. You guys are doing great. Mayu, thank you so much
Yeah,
for that
thank
donation.
you.
And yeah, we reached 12K. Woo!
12K
Thanks so
high.
much.
Nice. Let's go.
Well done. Yeah, that definitely earns a clap from me. And that's the final pal key, but guess what? Patchy, we got played like a fiddle.
I can't
From the
believe
very
it.
start. Because you know who this is, really?
The
Oh,
whole
dear God.
time.
It was Liquid! I knew there's something funny about his voice. Those sunglasses also gave it away too. They were too good on him. So, as I just said, you know, we just got played like a fiddle. Instead of deactivating Rex, we actually just activated it through the same process of entering 3 keys. So now Otacon's going to be a bro and, you know, help us get out by, you know, hacking the door open so we don't suffocate. And now begins the first of 2 phases of Rex.
Yeah, so we were tricked. Master Miller, who spoke to us on the codec the whole game, was fooling us.
You know, I did like his sunglasses.
They were decent. I give it a 6.
All right, so as Rex is powering up here, so you'll notice that D-Limes is preemptively aiming at the radar dish, which is the weak spot for Rex, and then he's just going to continuously hit it without having to move, because again, on this difficulty, the damage you take is not as bad. You can mitigate it through the rations if needed, and other than the one little recoil miss, because sometimes when you take a hit, it'll actually shake your screen where it'll make you miss off target. It's something that happens to me, you know, quite frequently, and it's, you know, it can be definitely irritating. But oh man, this scene right here, Patchy, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
It's so sad.
Oh my God, please, someone put him out of his misery. He's suffering. Oh, and he's dead. That's a tragedy. But, so on to phase 2. Same thing, he's just going to position himself in front of Rex with the mouth now open, which is going to give you a direct hit against Liquid. And before I can even finish my sentence, that's it. Just, you know, rinse and repeat your shots when it's open for full damage, and nicely done.
That minor movement that he makes at the start, as soon as the phase starts, he runs a little bit northwest towards the did I say Ray? I meant Rex. Towards the Rex. Puts you in a really good position. It means you can just shoot straight in the center as soon as the iframes come off. And the type of attack that Rex does to you isn't as detrimental. So that position is really important.
So
yeah, it's
for the
pretty
liquid,
amazing how little details like that add up for fights like this.
So for the liquid fist fight, I'm gonna let these guys talk, and I'm gonna take my headphones off.
Yeah, so we're gonna attempt an infinite on liquid. To do it, basically the in-game sound will put you off the timing for the punches. Unfortunately, the PlayStation TV can just drop your inputs occasionally, which will break the loop. It doesn't have happen as much on other consoles, but Limes is pretty good at this liquid loop. We're essentially just going to do a little bit of tricky movement at the start to set him up. Again, if you want to learn how to do this, search Plywood MGS. Got a full guide on how to fight this boss like this.
So what he's going to do is he's going to do a series of rolls, which is going to put Liquid in a position where, and he's got it. So what he's going to do now is he's going to, you know, double tap circle in a specific way, which is going to rinse and repeat, you know, this combo, which because of Liquid's hitbox,
I lost it. Wait. Oh well.
Let's say, ooh, it wasn't too bad.
So
now,
because he knew he was losing it, he just got the kick damage in there as well. And now he can set it up again. He's just gonna have to toss Liquid off the top now to finish the fight. That was decent. No, it's not easy to do at all. It's really easy to drop the infinite, especially on the PlayStation TV.
Yeah, because basically what you're doing is you're abusing the iframes hitbox of Liquid, which if you hit him 3 times, it'll reset him. But since you're hitting him twice, intermitting it with a pause, and then following with another 2 punches, you can essentially infinite punch him to, 0 HP, and then just kick him or throw him off of Rex to finish.
Yeah, it was a decent fight. I got a little too fast with the rhythm at the end, but a couple decent backups. Didn't lose much time.
I hope you're all happy. We saved Meryl. Here she is.
Oh, I'm happy.
It like put me off for a moment. I was like, "Who the hell's that?" I used to see runs with Meryl there.
Wow. It's rare to get shot like that at the beginning. I don't know why, but alright. So this is the escape sequence. We're going to be taking out a couple sets of guards, and then we're going to have our good old pal Liquid appear towards the end of this.
A couple of little bits of speed tech. We put a gun in a certain position so it instantly turns to the barrel when our gun pulls up.
You mean Meryl?
Meryl, yeah, sorry.
Meryl. Yeah. Same thing, same thing.
Worth every dollar.
But yeah, so like Apache said, every time you pull up to like the next checkpoint, you can preemptively aim a certain way so that as it pulls up, you can be ready to go to either get an early hit on the barrels, or in this case with the second checkpoint is with the 3 guards. Fun fact, in Twin Snakes they actually add barrels for both sets, so you don't have to go through as long of a process, but guess what? Still not dead. It's Liquid.
You really do throw out everything at him in this game, and he just keeps coming back for more.
It's like the Hind D, the Rex fight, got pushed off of Rex. I mean, this guy just does not get it.
This whole room seems like it's on rails, but there's actually a lot of tech to the Liquid sequence during the escape. You can speed it up so much by shooting him correctly and getting enough shots in.
And time will be coming up on fade to white here in like about 10 seconds or so.
So I think he's just got to get, I think it's like 2 or 3 hits on easy at this last section, which is about to come up.
He's nailing the transition shots.
And that's time.
There you go.
And that's
GG.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, GG's, dude.
Thank you. That was a pretty decent run. Not many mistakes. We saved Meryl, of course. Got some good donations, and I had a good time. It was fun.
I think that was a continuous run, if I'm not mistaken.
It was, yeah. I didn't take any continues. Yeah, really no major mistakes. So
Meryl,
I'm pretty happy with it.
are you okay?
But I'd just like to thank ESA for having me for this run. I greatly appreciate it. Appreciate the donations coming in, and
It's no good. I can't move.
love showcasing the Metal Gear games, which I'll be running another Metal Gear game here in 2 days. We'll be doing MGS2 VR missions on Wednesdays, so be sure to come back for that. But I stream these games a lot. If you want to give me a follow on Twitch, twitch.tv/dlimes13. I stream these games quite a bit. I'm decent at them, so. And if you like the community, want to learn these games, be sure to check out our website, MetalGearSpeedrunners.com. Check out our wiki, check out our Discord. Check out our full.
Yeah, that was very well said. Especially the last part, but, again, we're always looking to have more people. If you're interested in speedrunning, there's a whole lot of games to pick from, and we're always encouraging people to join and even want to learn just a little bit, depending on what game might interest you. And, as part of the promotion, since I know Plywood's watching, is just be sure to check out MetalGearSpeedrunners.com.
Yeah, also if you really like watching these games, Joseph Joestar 316 on Twitch, he streams these games pretty much every day, like 5 days from 7. He's always on it. And if you like Metal Gear Solid memes, follow me on Twitter at Apache Smash.
Especially for the memes. He's got quality memes.
It's a great Twitter, please do.
Snake,
So
can you hear me?
Colonel,
But
are you okay?
I'll send it
Thanks,
over
Colonel.
to
What
ESA.
happened?
Thanks for
Thanks
having
for
me.
having us,
The
ESA.
Secretary of Defense has been
Thank you.
arrested. Early retirement. Arrested? I was able to get